Hello. 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 Hello, everyone. How are we doing? I'll be very honest. I'm in hell. I'm in HE double hockey sticks. And let me tell you for why. So today was actually a really good day. Today, I went to the gym for the first time in like 6 months. Not 6 months, like 2 weeks. It's been a tough few weeks. I've been back on the alcohol. Not to say that I'm an alcoholic, not to say I have a problem, but I think I'm going to need to take myself away from the alcohol. Long story short, today went to the gym, went and did a class, like a different type of class, but we'll talk about that later. And then I went and got vaccinations. I've been punched in both arms several times. If anyone cares, I got vaccinations for the jungle. I'm going into a jungle environment. I won't be on I'm a Celeb. Don't get it twisted. But I am, for a job, going into a jungle environment. And so I have to be vaccinated. I got a rabies jab today. Rabies? Why is that still around? To Kill a Mockingbird? Why is that still around? And if you don't understand that reference, pick up a book. The dog had rabies. He had to shoot the dog. And it was almost symbolic of, the struggles of black people in... Anyway. I had to get a rabies shot today. I had to get shot in my arm with a rabies shot. And then next week I've got to go back and get another set of rabies. And I swear to great googly moogly God, if I go on this job, whenever I do, I'm not going to tell you because Yuval will find me. I love you, babe. Anyway, if I go on this job and I don't get bitten by a rabid dog, what was it worth? What was it for? If I don't see a bat, any bats that I see around in that vicinity, I'm just going to throw my arm ready for them to just at me. Because why am I getting a rabies shot and no rabies? I'd like to experience rabies. Cut to 2 months from now. Me in bed. Can't move because I'm rabid. But anyway, that's what I did today. This arm had most of the shots. This arm had 3. For the people that aren't watching. The left arm had 3 shots. The right arm had 2. So the left arm currently is going through it. The lady that did it, she was lovely. But good googly moogly, I am in some pain. I can't really lift my... Whoa. I can lift my arm maybe just below my shoulder, and that is hurting. I better get rabies. Anyway, so today what are we talking about? Again, a whole heap of nothing. A whole load of nothing. Last week I went to the Challenges premiere and I saw a lovely little lady. And she said, I love your podcast. And I thought, I love you. But then I thought to myself, why? Not to sell myself short, but I also saw a gentleman today who said the same thing. And again, I'm like, what? We talk about nothing here, but I guess it's just a group of us talking about nothing. You're probably wondering, actually, is a good point. I need a whistle. I need a little whistle. But Toby, the video editor, will be like, why did you not whistle before I set up the cameras? And I'll say, Toby, I can't control my bladder. I can't control when and when not I need to whistle. I need to have a cheeky little waz. Don't come for me. Hello, feminism. Just because you can... Anyway. What was I saying? Remembered. Now, let's get serious now. You're probably wondering whether I did or did not have sexual intercourse with that giant I dreamt about last week. The verdict is in. And I didn't have sex with the giant. And we're going to talk about why. Apparently, I do need a wazzle. I do need a cheeky little waz. Toby, and let's talk about, because I will say, Maya, hi Maya, you might be editing this now. The camera, last time I filmed something, and Maya, one of my editor babes. I filmed myself and forgot that it was recording, and then went to the bathroom. Luckily, I didn't shit. Luckily, I did not take a shit. But Maya has heard me waz. And that's currently where we are now. What am I talking about? I didn't have sex with the giant. That's it. I didn't have sex with the giant. And someone told me, in fact, I believe their name was Alexo, commented on the last episode and said that dreams about giants or wanting to have sex with giants is something about you want to be dominated. You wish to be dominated, which is an interesting concept to me because I don't. So no, I didn't have sexual intercourse with the giant, or with the person that is in true life form, not a giant, but who it's based upon. Why? Because we were just going through something last week. There was something in the air. I think I mentioned it last week. Can you shut up? Oh, sorry. Getting loads of messages. I'm just so popular, just so pop. Hold on, let me put it on D&D for you guys because we're having a nice little chat. What was I saying? There was something in the air last week. And so the dream, now let's be honest. Let's be really frank, and let's be close with one another. Let's be honest with one another. Was it the first time I had a dream of having intercourse with someone? No. But the fact that I thought maybe I should act upon it, that was proof that mentally I was not okay last week. Because usually I've had these dreams and then just carried on with my week. But this time I decided not to. Well, no, I actually did decide to carry on with my week because I never did. Or did I? No, I didn't. But why didn't I? Yes, because there was something in the air. There was something in the air with that whole kind of concept. Anyway, so we didn't. But now my sights are set on someone else. They're set on someone else. And I'll tell you for why. I don't know why, actually. I actually can't actually put into words why they are set on that someone. I think I'm going through something. Again, there's something in the air again. What were we going to talk about this week? I can't remember what we were planning to talk about right now. Is there anything else? I went to Milan. Kind of racist. Ooh. Well, okay. Milan, okay. What I will say was, and it's too late now, Yuval, he's already found me. Yuval, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the gentleman on TikTok that likes to hunt down the places I'm staying on in the hotels and tell everyone where I'm staying. He's just so kooky. He's just a crazy guy. It's because he cares. Long story short, I was staying in the Bulgari Hotel in Milan. Now, let me tell you, I was doing a job. So, in a roundabout way, let me say, could I afford the Bulgari Hotel? No. So, pick up what I'm putting down here. Long story short, the Bulgari Hotel, the clientele there, let's just say they're of a specific tax bracket. In fact, I don't even know if they pay tax. That's I think they've just completely, so you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So the people there were several times where I was walking back into the hotel from going out to dinner, for example, or going out for a walk, and the people that worked there, would look at me as though I should not be there. In fact, I got stopped several times and asked, "Scusi, are you here for a reason?" As in, are you staying here? And I said, yes, I have a room here. Several times I got asked that. When I came down from my room on the second day to have a quick bite to eat in the hotel restaurant, the person in front of me was asked, went to the desk and said, "Oh, I'd like to sit here at this restaurant." Said it in their accent, whatever it was. And the woman at the desk said, "Oh, yes, let me just check with and get you a table." When I went up to the desk and asked for a table, she said, do you have a reservation? I said, no, I don't. She said, are you staying in the hotel? I said, yes. She said, what's the room number? As if I'd lie. Why would I lie? Anyway, I said my room number. I'm not going to tell you what that is now. And then she let me have a table. But it was very clear that I was being looked at in a specific way, which is, not always fun. But long story short, lovely place, really pretty. The people outside of the hotel I was staying in were nice. A lot of them say ciao, buongiorno, buonasera, grazie. That's what they say. Tiramisu. Yeah. And so I had a great time. What else can I tell you from last week? There's not really much going on I got really pissing drunk. But that's not really interesting for anyone to know. Have I been struggling this week? My arms are struggling. I'm currently mentally struggling because my house is a mess. Because I've been moving in. I'm currently still moving in. I know I said I moved in last week. There's still boxes unpacked. I still don't have a chest of drawers in my bedroom. So my clothes are just laid out on the floor. I'm going to burp. My clothes are laid out on the floor with no real organization. So that mentally puts me in a terrible place. But we move. We have a great time with it. I'm getting a chest of drawers delivered tomorrow. So we're okay. I haven't done an intro. Wow. It's my arms. I think it's the vaccines. They're getting into my brain. No, they're not. Take your vaccines. Get vaccinated. Anyway, I'm saying let's get on with the pissing show. I've already pissing started it. Long story short, this is In Ayame We Trust. I'm Ayame. You shouldn't trust me. I'm not a trustworthy gal. But my podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you want to watch it visually, you may do so on my YouTube, Ayame.P. I've now hit 114,000 subscribers, which is insane. It's insane to me. Because what? Thank you guys for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed and you're listening to this this heartwarming moment that I'm having where I'm realizing where I am in my life and you haven't actually subscribed to my YouTube, how pissing dare you even think that you can join in with that heartwarming moment? You don't even subscribe. You don't even follow me. Anyway, let's get on with the show. I am delusional, and I think it's the rabies. I have rabies. It's the rabies. I think the rabies vaccine has seeped into my mind and given me rabies. I did ask her, because I don't know how many vaccines I've done. I mean, I'm a 27-year-old woman, and I still have to ask my mum what vaccines I've had. In fact, when I got these vaccines today, I texted her quickly to say, just so you know, I've got these vaccines, so that I can catch up with her later, because she'll remember. She's my mum. She has to. That's literally her job. Do you know what I mean? But she was asking me if I had a rabies vaccine or a typhoid vaccine. And I said, I have no pissing clue. I have no clue. They were giving me vaccines in school. And I just took them. Didn't know, although I haven't had the cervical cancer one. But anyway, we digress again. What was I saying? Yeah, I was saying, can you overdose on a vaccine? She said no. But at the same time, I don't believe her because I feel incredibly rabid right now. I feel as though I'm foaming at the mouth. Even though we've just done the intro, it's the rabies. Even though we've just done the intro, I'm going to move on to the second part of this here podcast that I've introduced over the last few episodes, which is where I talk about something that's happened in the news recently. Something weird and wacky and crazy and wild. And I've got a couple of reports here. Can I tell you that Sky News has a separate category on their news board for crazy news, crazy wacky news that's happened. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a discussion. I feel as though I'm sinking right into this chair, and I'm not going to unsink. I'm not going to do it. Okay. Alrighty. Now this article is on Sky, and the headline reads, Frogs are screaming. We just can't hear them. Scientists in Brazil discover. Subheadline. Scientists have recorded the first documented case of defensive ultrasound being used by amphibians. Right? Frogs. Is a lizard an amphibian? Is a lizard an amphibian? Some frogs scream at an ear-splitting volume for other animals, but its frequency is inaudible to humans, scientists have discovered. While out in the Amazonian jungle studying frogs, researchers in Brazil noticed something strange. Small leaf litter frogs were arching their backs. Throwing back their heads and opening their mouths wide. They looked like they were screaming, but the scientists could hear nothing. Now, what I imagine these Brazilian scientists were doing, they were in Brazil, just kind of in the jungle, in the Amazon, walking around. Oh, there's a frog. Cute. Write that down. Write that down, Pedro. What's a Brazilian name? Ronaldinho? Didn't he play for Brazil? Was he Brazil? Hold on, let me ask a man. Toby? Yes. What was that famous football player's name from Brazil? Neymar.
Sexy guy.
Sexy.
Caramel skin tone, lots of tattoos. Ronaldinho, kind of dreads.
I just need... They're Brazilian.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Toby. Oh. Thank you, Toby. Toby's my favourite out of all of the men that come into this house. So, anyway, Ronaldinho's just looking. He's like, oh, Pele. Oh, that was another one. Is Pele Brazilian?
Yeah.
Pele, write this down. Pele writes it down. And then the frog just... Do you know what I mean? But no one can hear the frog. Now, if we think about the perspective of the frog, imagine screaming your heart out and everyone's just like, can't hear you. How daunting must that be? Now, I know we're in a very weird part of this podcast now where we're discussing frog screaming, but hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Because that must have been a powerful scream. They noticed it arch its back, throw its head. Do you know how much a scream? Because if I just, wah, different to, wah, do you know what I mean? That's real vim, and no one can hear it. Now imagine a frog seeing Neymar walking around little Brazilian Amazon, screaming, trying to get it away, to try and like, as a defense, to get Neymar away from it. Neymar doesn't clock because he can't hear. He is not defenseless. Defenseless? He is not. His ears aren't splitting, long story short, and he steps on the frog. Let's think about that. I'm in a bad way. I've got rabies, okay? First of all, I've got rabies. So let's not talk about where this podcast is going. When they recorded the frogs using high-frequency audio recorders, the scientists captured the first documented case of defensive ultrasound. What else? That thing has ultrasound that's in Finding Dory. And it is played by Phil Dunphy. The little whale thing with the horn. Yes. The scream is in response to predators, according to researchers from Brazil's State University Campinas. It could be a call to arms to attract another animal to attack the predator. Now see, let's paint the picture again. Neymar is walking along the Brazilian Amazon. He sees the frog. The frog sees him. The frog is like, oh, you look big. You're going to try and eat me. Nothing happens. Nothing happens because the frog cannot be heard by anyone really within the vicinity because they're all humans. And so these humans are just watching the frog and his screams go unheard. What a sad story for the frog. What a sad, sad story for the frog. Sorry to put a dampener on this episode. I've got rabies. Now, here's the thing. I do little snippets for these shows. I do little snippets for these shows, right? Little snippets that go on my Instagram and my YouTube and my TikTok shorts. And people watching these snippets will see me talk about frogs and then cut to, I've got rabies. And no one will really understand except you guys that are listening to it in full, that will understand why I have rabies. That is my personality this week. I have rabies this week. Hello, everyone. I have rabies. Next piece of news. Escaped racehorse joins commuters at train station and stands behind the yellow line. Now, what had happened was commuters at a train station in Australia were left doing a double take as an escaped racehorse joined them to wait for a passenger service. Now, the rogue animal turned up at Warwick Farm Station, New South Wales, and trotted down the platform before pausing ahead of the train's arrival when it even stood behind the yellow line. I would have loved to have been there to watch a horse. But at the same time, I mean, not in this state because I have rabies, so I would currently think that I'm hallucinating. But a horse, what a gentlemanly horse. He was wearing a coat as well. He was wearing a coat because he was a racehorse, so I guess he was wearing his little coat that they wear after they've done their racehorsing. And he stood behind the yellow line. What a gentleman. He really knows the practices for commuting publicly. What a guy. The Transport Authority saw the funny side as they shared an update about the incident on Facebook. In a post about a missing individual, they wrote, he was reported to be wearing only a rug and demonstrating a bit of horseplay. He's quite a big horse. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Whoa, my arm. Here's the thing, we can't, you know, like you can't like you can't conceptualize size until it's like put in front of you. Do you know how pissing big a horse is? How did it get through the bars? Sorry, unless it's like a Southwest train situation where there's no bars, it's just you kind of walk in. He didn't tap in, let's just say that. But that horses are massive. Horses are pissing huge. Could it have gotten the train? Do you know what I don't like? I have megalophobia. We are digressing so much because I've got rabies today. I have megalophobia, and so whales, the animal, not the place, whales. If I ever in my life saw a whale, I would completely disintegrate. I think they're the most disgusting. I can't even, and I'm sure they're lovely. I'm sure they're lovely people, but no, I cannot be around whales. They're too big. A human can crawl through. In fact, let's Google it. It's not good for my mental health right now, but let's Google some facts about whales because this is a real animal show. I'm really Steve Irwining it right now. R.I.P. Steve. Ooh, ow. Whales, facts. Should I put fun facts? Oh, or facts for kids? Oh, I'm looking at them. Here are top 10 facts about whales. And let me tell you, you may be listening to this now and thinking, Ayame, I did not sign up for your podcast to listen to top 10 facts about whales. Well, here we are. Oh, this is sad facts. This is facts about them getting caught. And I just said, they're so big. They're so big. They are so big. Okay, whale facts, size. So I can give you some facts about... Oh, okay. A sperm whale and a colossal blue whale can weigh more than 200 tons and stretch up to 100 feet long. Now, I'm putting that in the context of my hallway. I'm in hell because I'm thinking about it right now and I hate it. My hallway is 20 feet long. Like, I've just ordered a carpet and it's 20 feet. 5 times my hallway? You can piss off. you can piss off. I know we should love all of God's creatures. I don't. There are some creatures that I could absolutely have eradicated. Whales and spiders. Now you may be thinking, those are two different ends of the... Whales are disgusting. It's so disgusting that they're that big. And no, I'm not being sizist, but Jesus Christ. A blue whale is 100 feet long. The smallest whale on this list here, hold on now. Everyone shut up. The longest whale on this list here is a minke whale. Mink. And it's up to 35 feet. That's still bigger than my whole weight, and my whole weight is a walk. What? I've got megalophobia. I think that's why I couldn't go on a cruise. I could never go on a cruise because Jesus Christ. They're so big. I don't like big things that move. Some big things can move. Anyway, that's been my fun facts about life and about... Ooh. I'm trying to find... Okay, that's been my fun facts about life and animals. The news today about animals. Frogs screaming, horses getting the train, and whales. They shouldn't exist. A whale is probably the size of this, like width-wise. That's disgusting! Anyway, let's move on to the agony section of this here podcast. You guys have sent in some agonies and I'm going to read them out. We're going to discuss some of your issues, some of your problems. We're going to run through them today. Let's go. When I first started this podcast, I said, yeah, every week when I do the agonies, they're going to be per category. And if you've ever submitted an agony, you would notice that they are categorized. What is your agony about? Because I'd say every week it's going to be about a specific category. Me, 17 weeks in. I don't give a piss what the category is. We're going to talk about it. Okay, let's just randomly pick. I'll do this one because this is actually the oldest one. Queen Ayame. Please help me. I struggle with my body image constantly, on and off, and often forget the bad bitch that I am. I'm 23. And I've gained a decent amount of weight in the last few years coming out of teenagehood. What is decent? Like a big amount? Which I know is normal, but I still struggle with it and can end up feeling really negative and hateful towards myself. I eat healthy, work out pretty much every day, and I'm honestly way healthier in terms of nutrition and exercise than I was when I was a teenager, which is often why I end up feeling frustrated towards my younger and present self. Please help me get out of this negative mindset and give me some tools to improve on it. Love you and the podcast. Now, my darling girl, what I am going to tell you, which I came to realize a few years ago, you will never look like your teenage self. Ever. You will never be able to perform in the way that your teenage self performed. Why? Because you are getting older. That is life. That is science. You will never, ever, ever look like your teenage self. Now, you may lose weight. You may get a facelift. You may have a skincare routine. You may gain some muscle, but you will never look like your teenage self and you will never be able to perform like that. So get over this idea that your teenage self is somewhat better because they were your teenage self. You weirdo! They were just a teenager. They were a child. As in you. Gaining weight. Now, I think I said this in a few episodes ago. I think I said this a few episodes ago that when you're in the moment of having gained weight and looking at yourself from the perspective of you've put on some weight and you're looking at pictures of you from back then, at that moment you're like, oh, like the frog, defenseless. But if you look at and as I say, you're 23, so you're not too far in age from me, but you don't have enough of a weight history, so to speak, to be able to see that weight is constantly fluctuating. You do not stay constantly the same, especially as women, because hormonally, stress levelly, childbearingly, we just fluctuate. So you will never be like, you'll have periods of when you are My arm, sorry, I can't move my arm. I've got rabies, as we know. You'll have periods of when you are slimmer, fitter, more active, maybe because your hormone hose, where are the hose on my hose? Where your hormone levels are, I guess, working in your favor, so to speak. And you'll have moments where you're not, where you're craving a lot more, because our hormones just fuck us up. So don't beat yourself up for just being just fluctuating. As I say, I think, okay, sorry, again, we're going to lose our train of thought a lot because I do have rabies. When you are in that moment of looking at yourself and like, oh, I've put on a bit of weight, do not beat yourself up. It's just the natural cycle in which your body goes through. You will never kind of just be, it's just not within our, it's just not normal, you know? Everyone just changes. If you eat healthy, you work out pretty much every day, and you are healthier in terms of nutrition and exercise, then what more do you actually think you need to do? Well, other than loving yourself. But I've given the tips about loving yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror, telling yourself nice things about yourself. But really and truly, you're looking after yourself. That's the biggest thing. And I hope you're doing so with love for yourself and not for hate. You will never look like teenage you. Get over it. Get over it. Embrace 23-year-old you. And then when you're 24, embrace 24-year-old you. The lighting has gone down because the sun's going down. The sun is setting. So yeah, don't be frustrated for the fact that you're getting older. Otherwise, what a waste of time. You're going to waste so much time getting older, complaining about the fact that life is just continuing. Get a grip. Love yourself. You're doing great. You're just getting old. And it's a decent amount of weight. You're just living a healthy life. You know? Anyway, I'm digressing. That was that one. I feel like I spoke quite short on that one. But that's what more do you need me to say? You silly? Love yourself. I'm gonna burp. Right, we got a lot. Fucking hell. We've got one here that says, this is a kind of longish story. And I looked at it, double clicked it, and it went phew! And then you can scroll within it, right? Guys, lock in. We're about to have a long pissing story for someone and it's about a boy. Oh! It's a girl. I presume it's a girl or a gay man. I think it's a girl. And she sent me, and all I can see is Valentine's Day, and I met this guy. Let's lock in, guys. The laptop's getting on the lap. We're locking in. Get ready. So, this is a kind of long-ish story. What's funny here is you've said long-ish. I can scroll through your agony. There's long-ish, there's long, and there's, why have you written me the Bible? But sure, I'll help you out. About 3 or 4 months ago, I met this guy, and I'm currently on my healing journey from health issues and a breakup I had last year. I'm doing a lot better, but I made a promise to myself I wouldn't try and date till I'm 100% better from everything I went through. But then he came along and honestly was perfect. They're never perfect. Men are never perfect, ever. We love all the same things like gaming. And he's antisocial like me and very chill and relaxed. And I love that a lot because usually I meet guys that are very chaotic and always... Sorry, I thought there was a fox outside. Very chaotic and always want to go out and do stuff. And where I'm at in my life, I need calm and chill. I'm a year sober. Ooh. So being with someone that loves to party and go out a lot isn't really my forte. No, it's not. Good. I'm glad you know your strengths. My issue was when Valentine's Day rolled around. I'd gotten him gifts and told him about 2 days before he was supposed to come out to see me, thinking he also probs got me something, but when he showed up, he had nothing for me. And it made me down a bit, but I proceeded to give him his gifts. I didn't get a thank you, a hug, or a kiss after he opened them, and that really upset me. What do you mean? What do you mean that really upset you? You didn't get a thank you? Piss off with the hug and the kiss. I don't care about no hug or kiss. You didn't get a thank you for giving him gifts. And you decided to let him keep the gifts. I hope you didn't let him keep the gifts. I hope you took the gifts from him and said, someone didn't learn their manners as a child. Someone doesn't get these gifts. Someone doesn't get treated for not having manners. Goodbye. So the next day when we woke up, oh, you stayed together. I hope you didn't pop your puss for that man after he didn't say thank you, you stupid girl. You stupid girl. If you popped your puss for that man after you gave him gifts and he gave you no thank you, let alone, he didn't even get you a gift. He didn't even give you a thank you. I swear to God, if you gave him some vag, if you gave him some minge, never speak to me again. So the next day when we woke up, I had a celebration of life to go to, our funeral, and told him I'll probably call him later in the day for support because it was going to be a rough day for me. Do you know the funeral person? Do you know the person dead quite closely? Do you know the person dead quite closely? Because this is important. If you don't, well, if it's going to be a tough day for you, then probably. And if you know the person close and this man is supposed to be your person, he should be providing you a lot of support. So before I read on, I know the facts, which are Valentine's Day was the day before. You got him a gift. He got you nothing. He didn't even say thank you for your gifts. You're now going to a funeral the next day. Is he supportive, yes or no? I'm already angry at you because I know you popped puss. So, in the day, I called him crying and he wasn't responding to me at all. He was dead silent. The only time he said something was when he was yelling at his game. Now, I'm going to continue to read your agony because I'm enjoying this conversation we're having, this one-sided conversation. I'm going to continue to read it. But what I'm concerned about is the fact that this man has taken up space within your head. This man who clearly is no one to fret about or be concerned about. Why is he taking up space in your cerebral real estate? Why? He's clearly garb. So I hung up and texted him telling him that it upset me. He apologized for not being caring, so I called him back, thinking now he would talk to me and he would be there for me. But again, I got hit with dead silence, besides him asking, are you feeling better? And I said no, and he said, fair enough. Why is he taking up space in your head? Why are we even reading this? Sweet babe. Why am I even reading this? Why does the relate? Because like I said, this is a long agony. So I'm scrolling. There's more. There's like a whole 5,000 word essay to come. Why? Why doesn't it end there and you say, and so I decided he was garbage and never spoke to him again. Why? Why are we doing this? Remember what I said last week about women allowing men to still be men? Sorry, it's just... Right. So I ended up that night leaving the call and talking to friends for support instead. The next day he texted me like nothing happened, and I proceeded to tell him I'm still upset over him not being there and the celebration of life. Oh, you wanted him to come and he didn't come? Crazy. And he apologized again, but proceeded to play games all day and not call me once, and was answering my texts very slowly. He doesn't care about you. Doesn't care about you. One, he's a terrible, terrible person for you to be with. Two, does not really care about you. I hope you're not still speaking to this man. But I got over it and left it alone. Then a few days later, my other gift for him came. You got him. You got him a custom art piece of us. And you were very excited to show him, weren't you? And so when you did, you got no thank you or nothing. The only acknowledgement was him saying, wow, that looks good. And then he went back to playing games. Now, I'm not going to say a word. I'm so angry with you right now. So then that night I had all these thoughts like, does he even like me? No, he doesn't. And does he even like what I got him? Probably not. And ended up getting very emotional over it because he says all the right things when it comes to what I need with action. With action, I'm left high and dry, it felt. But the cherry on top was when the next day he told me he had a surprise for me for a Valentine's Day gift. And he then proceeded to send me six photos of his dear with Valentine's Day Snapchat stickers on them. My jaw was on the floor. Not in a good way. Because I wanted roses or something. Like, yeah, his penis is nice, but I could see that in person anytime. There's nothing sentimental to it. I'm glad you're processing this in your head to really think, yeah, why are the reasons I didn't want a dick pic for Valentine's Day as a gift when I got you a custom art piece in addition to several other gifts? Also, it feels very high school coded, like we're adults. Why are you sending me a portfolio of your junk? Nothing from the heart to put a smile on my face, and I almost felt disrespected at the lack of effort. So I ended it, but I didn't really express the full reason why. Just kind of left it at the simple end. Good. Shouldn't have taken you that long. Should have taken you getting him the gift, him not saying thank you, and you then saying, you lack manners and just general compassion. So a few days go by and I was gaming and he joined a lobby I was in. So we ended up talking and I just kind of like, fuck it. I got nothing to lose. And you have your dignity to lose. You have your self-respect to lose. Because you're allowing someone to disrespect you. That's what you have to lose. Because what I feel like you're going to tell me is that you were happy to... In fact, let me not assume. Let's not make an arse of you and me. But I'll explain to you why you did have something to lose. Nothing to lose, and told him all the reasons why I actually ended it. And he was apologising a lot and saying he wanted to come to my place the next day and bring me flowers and whatever, and that he wants to make it right, and that he was being an idiot. But I told him I need time, so now I don't know what to do. A part of me wants to try and see if anything changed, but another part of me is like, if he's already doing all this early, how do I know things will actually change long term? Good. Powers of deduction. My last relationship really messed me up and I gave him all I could and was left with nothing. So I'm not doing it again. Then don't. Because you've already given more than you've received back. Stop allowing this behaviour. Get out of that pattern. I want someone that wants me... Piss me. You've really... It's the rabies mixed with you. I want someone that wants to see me smile and someone who wants to support me without having to ask, because I know I can do that. So why can't I get it back? I just want the bare minimum and more. Girl, you do not want the bare minimum. Jesus pissing Christ. What are we talking about right now? Oh, I was kind of giving you my thoughts as and when I was reading it. Long story short, let me tell you why sleeping with this man or continuing a relationship with this man is you have something to lose. You have your respect for yourself to lose. Because what you're doing in that instance is saying, I'm allowing someone who clearly does not care for, love, or respect me continue to have access to me. That's what you are saying. That is what you were saying, because you clearly feel a certain way about this person. You clearly would like some sort of mutual love and respect, and that's not being given. So by continuing to speak to this gentleman, knowing full well he will not give you what you desire and what you require, you are disrespecting yourself and you have got your own self-view to lose. Get away from him. Leave him alone. I have rabies. If I catch you speaking to this man or getting him another custom gift, I will kill you. With love. Next one. Dear Ayame, I love you so much, Ayame. You're amazing and I'm a huge fan. Thank you for all that you do. Anyways, I have a friend who recently had a heartbreak. And it hurts my heart to see her broken like that. She's not broken. She is really hard on herself and seems very unstable. I would do anything to make her feel better or even get her mind off of it. She knows time will heal her, but she's just having a very hard time at the moment. I try to exercise with her every week and keep her busy, but is there anything else I should do for her? Or do you have any advice for her? What is the best way to deal with heartbreak? Do I have any advice for her? No. Take up a hobby, do things you enjoy doing, see friends. You're doing pretty much as you can do, and in that you're being a supportive friend, and you're both aware that it will take time for her to get over this heartbreak. What I will say is, to you specifically as the friend, there's only so much you can do because you are not in her head and you're not in her mind. So there are decisions she may make, there are things she may want to do that you're like, what the piss, or that you really want her to do but she's just not ready to do. Don't take it upon yourself to blame yourself for her not being ready to do that. You're just different people. Continue to support her in that you're around her, doing fun things, taking her mind off of it, but at the same time, don't take her mind too far off of it where she doesn't actually heal. She does need moments to be completely by herself and cry and just feel completely low and downtrodden, because she has to reach that element of lowness and unpack that lowness in order to refill it with goodness. So you're doing as much as you can do as a friend. Best way to deal with heartbreak, in my opinion, get a hobby, talk to someone else. Those are my 2 pieces of advice. And some people, talk to someone else. You don't necessarily have to sleep with someone else. And I don't know how old you are. I don't know whether you're a child, because I do get some children in here. But talking to someone else gets your mind off of that one person that you were talking to, because it takes your attention and takes your focus on, oh, I wish they missed me. I miss them. I wish they were telling me I'm pretty. To someone else is telling you you're pretty. Someone else is talking to you. Someone else is asking you how your day was. Do you know what I mean? So those would be my words of wisdom for dealing with heartbreak. Having a friend that's dealing with heartbreak, at some point you've just got to kind of leave her to it. Not leave her as in leave her alone, but there's only so much you can do as a friend. There's only so much you can do because you are 2 separate beings. So help her in that you support her, but also give her the grace to support herself. If that makes sense. I think it does. I think it makes a lot of sense. The frog. Rabies. I have rabies. Now, what I will say is, that is the show. That is the pissing show. We've had a great time. My arms are in hootin' heck pain. And I said to the woman, when she did the nurse, when she did it, I said, will it hurt more than it hurts now? Because it was a little bit tender, but it was fine. She said, yeah, you might experience a little bruising, a little tenderness. I can't lift my arm. I can't lift my arm. So to the woman, the nurse that did this, I appreciate you. You were lovely. I will never trust you again. You'll never see me again. Do you know what I mean? I hope we've all had a great time. I have been completely on edge. Why? Because I've had some caffeine and I've also got rabies. I'll update you next week on how my rabies goes, if it subsides by then. What's the week next week? What's next Thursday? The 25th. And again, I would have had my other shot by next week. Oh God, shoot me. How about? Anyway, this has been a lovely day. This has been a lovely time. You guys have a fantastic week. What's happening this week? Is there anything happening this week? I don't know. I need to go because I've got rabies and I'm frothing at the mouth. Have a fantastic week. I love you all. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye.